Life can be unpredictable. When I parked in front of the modest house I shared with my wife, Emily, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. We'd been married for 8 years, and I had always believed we were happy. As I retrieved the mail, I wondered if our marriage was turning sour or if I was just overthinking things. Working 16-hour days, 4 days a week, plus 1 day at a nearby fast food place, was exhausting. But it was necessary to pay the bills and save for a future home. I also wanted to surprise Emily with something special for our upcoming anniversary. Emily contributed, too. She managed the house and worked at a local travel agency, though her pay wasn't great. My main job was in customer service, handling complaints and orders. It was monotonous, but the pay was decent, and the benefits were good. With commissions and bonuses, I earned about $7,000 a month before taxes. My plan was to quit the second job once our finances were stable, especially after our anniversary cruise. That night, as I entered our house, I immediately felt that something was wrong. The house was dark and silent. "Emily, I'm home," I called out, but there was no response. I noticed the kitchen was unusually tidy, and there was no dinner waiting for me as there usually was. In the bedroom, the bed was made, but Emily was nowhere to be found. Panic started to set in when I saw that some of her clothes were missing from the closet. I tried calling her, but my call went straight to voicemail. I sent a text, but there was no reply. That's when I saw the envelope on the bathroom counter, addressed to me in her handwriting. My hands shook as I opened the envelope and read the letter. It began without the usual affection, simply stating my name. Emily wrote that she had been having an affair for the past several months and was now with her lover, Michael, on the cruise I had planned for our anniversary. She admitted she didn't want to have children with me and had stopped using contraception at Michael's request. She also mentioned that everyone at her work knew about the affair and supported her decision. The letter went on to say she didn't want a divorce, suggesting that I continue to support her financially while she pursued a life with Michael. She had blocked my number and planned to share photos and videos from their cruise. She ended the letter coldly, saying this was how things would be from now on. I was left in shock, the letter slipping from my hands. Anger surged through me. I yanked off my wedding ring and hurled it across the room. There was no way I would accept this. I decided to take action. I contacted Linda, an attorney recommended by a colleague, and explained everything. She was sympathetic and provided guidance on how to proceed. I also went to Emily's workplace to seek a refund for the cruise. There, her colleagues handed me another envelope, smirking. Inside, I found a pair of Emily's underwear, soaked and smelling foul, with her wedding ring covered in a suspicious substance. There was also a USB drive. Disgusted, I left the office, determined to get justice. Back home, I viewed the contents of the USB drive. It contained photos and videos of Emily and Michael, surrounded by her colleagues, laughing and celebrating. In one video, Emily declared her intentions to stay with Michael, mocking me. My anger reached a boiling point. I sent an email to the CEO of the travel agency, attaching the evidence and threatening legal action. That night, I received a mysterious invitation to a private art gallery, signed by Dr. A. Valeria. Despite my anger, I felt compelled to go. The next morning, I arrived at a Victorian house, where a petite blonde woman greeted me. She introduced herself as Dr. Adrestia Valeria and led me to a room with a covered portrait. When she unveiled it, I saw a painting of Emily and Michael in bed together. Shocked, I asked how she had obtained it. Dr. Valeria explained that she had been watching Emily and offered to help me get justice. Justice? I asked, bewildered. What do you mean by that? Dr. Valeria smiled gently. I have a unique way of ensuring that those who betray their loved ones face the consequences of their actions. But I need to know if you are willing to go through with it. I nodded, still reeling from the shock and betrayal. I'll do whatever it takes. She can't get away with this. Dr. Valeria nodded and handed me a small vial of dark liquid. This will help you. Drink it, and you will understand. I hesitated, but then took the vial and drank the contents. A warmth spread through my body, and suddenly, I felt a strange sense of clarity and calm. "We will confront them," Dr. Valeria said, her voice soothing. "Follow me." We stepped outside, and in an instant, we were on the deck of the cruise ship. I saw Emily and Michael by the railing, oblivious to our presence. As they embraced, I felt a surge of anger, but also a sense of control. "Emily," I called out, my voice steady. She turned, her eyes widening in shock. "Sam? How are you here?" Michael stepped forward, trying to act tough. "What do you think you're doing here? You have no right." Ignoring him, I focused on Emily. "You thought you could just leave me and get away with it? That I would let you betray me and walk away scot-free?" Emily's face paled. "Sam, please, I didn't mean for it to happen this way." I was going to explain. I interrupted, my voice cold. "Explain how you plan to live a double life, using me while you played house with him." Michael sneered. "You need to leave, now." I turned to Michael, my anger bubbling over. "You think you're untouchable? You think you can just take what you want and face no consequences?" As I spoke, Dr. Valeria stepped forward, her eyes glowing with an ethereal light. "Enough," she said, her voice echoing with power. "You have made your choices, and now you will face the consequences." With a wave of her hand, a portal opened beneath Michael's feet. He screamed as he was sucked into the void, disappearing in an instant. Emily fell to her knees, sobbing. "Sam, please," she begged, reaching out to me. "I'm sorry. I never wanted to hurt you." I looked down at her, feeling a mixture of sadness and resolve. "It's too late for apologies, Emily. You made your choice." Dr. Valeria stepped forward, placing a hand on my shoulder. "It's time to go, Sam. Justice has been served." In an instant, we were back in her office. I felt a strange sense of relief, knowing that Emily and Michael would never hurt anyone again. "Thank you," I said, turning to Dr. Valeria. "I don't know how to repay you." She smiled kindly. "Live your life, Sam. Find happiness and move forward. That is all the thanks I need." I returned home, feeling a weight lifted off my shoulders. I contacted Linda, who informed me that Emily's disappearance was considered accidental. The travel agency settled with me, and I moved on with my life. Eventually, I met Marcy, a coworker who had also been betrayed. We found solace in each other and started dating. Dr. Valeria continued her work, helping others like me. One day, she looked at the portraits of those she had helped, tears filling her eyes for the first time in millennia. Despite the pain and betrayal she witnessed, she remained committed to her cause.